Are you a Part 107 pilot with a foreign address? Or do you plan to get your Part 107 certificate and live outside of the US? Well, this new FAA rule is crucial for you. Let's get into it. So the FAA has made an update to one of their policies, and they now require all individuals with a foreign address and no US physical address to designate what they're calling a US agent for service. Who does this affect? Now, there are quite a few categories that this new rule update falls under, but in this video, we're going to focus on Part 107 and how this new rule applies to current holders and new applicants. Now, before we get into it, we're going to discuss why this rule was adjusted. And the FAA has stated that there are over 100,000 individuals with foreign addresses and no US addresses on file. And delivery of documents to these individuals could take months and in some instances years. And it has become very expensive to do international shipping to these individuals. So what they've done now is mandate that you have an agent US of service to be compliant under the updated regulations. Now, what is a US agent of service, or what does a US agent of service do? A US agent of service is a person or an entity that will receive FAA documents on your behalf and ensure that they are forwarded in a timely fashion to you. So basically, it's a middleman. Instead of the FAA sending you documents directly, if you have an international address, they would send them to the US, which the assumption is a more efficient process, and then it will be forwarded on to you internationally. So now that begs the question, who could be an agent? Well, it's not really a complicated process. According to the FAA, they said any entity or adult, so 18 years or older, with a US-based postal address could qualify as an US agent of service. The only catch to that is it must be a physical address, so no PO boxes and mail drops. And you will have to provide the FAA with their full name, phone number, and a working email address. So if you live outside of the US and you don't have a personal address for yourself within the US to designate as a service address, you can have a family member or a friend be that agent of service. And in the instance where that isn't an option for you, there are companies that provide agent of service services. So they will act as the middleman to receive the documents and then forward them on to you international. So the next thing is, how do you designate agent of service? So you head to the FAA's website that has been listed for this purpose. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. And you would need to log in. If you don't have an account, you create an account. They will send you an email confirmation, and then you log into the account. And then you then select airman/operator, and you click next. And you're going to need your FTN number and date of birth. Now, the FTN number you should have if you are a current holder of your Part 107. For persons that are looking to apply for the 107, the FTN is part of the approval process. And if you're not sure what that process is, I will leave a link to the video that I have covering how to get your Part 107. And you enter your date of birth, you hit submit, and you have a window pop up that will give you the ability to enter the information for your US agent of service. Once that's completed, you submit it and you get a confirmation email that you should hold on to in the event that an FAA representative asks you to present it. And that's it. You've updated and you're now compliant. So there are a couple important dates that are part of this update. For new applicants, if you're applying for your Part 107 certificate for the first time, you would have to start submitting your US agent as a part of your application from April 2nd, 2025. If you're an existing holder, you must add a designated US agent to your FAA record no later than July 7th, 2025. So those are two important dates to keep in mind. So after all this now, you may be wondering, what happens if I don't designate an agent? According to the FAA, if you do currently hold a Part 107 certificate and you don't designate a US postal address or agent of service by the deadline dates, you could effectively become unlicensed or void your license, meaning that you will no longer be covered or your license will no longer be valid for commercial operations. And that's something that we would all hope to avoid. And it's a very simple process to avoid it. So hopefully you guys look at this video and you add your agent or your US postal address, and you would be compliant with the FAA's updated regulations. That's it for this video, guys. I'll talk to you in the next one.